So welcome back guys, I've managed to get my hands on the brand new Taylormade irons that don't actually get released until next month. So they get released at the start of September, but if you want to find out what Taylormade have to offer in 2020 and 2021, then make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the video. Right, so let's have a little look in the Taylormade bag that they're providing us with. They have provided me with 3 different irons that they're going to be releasing in September. So to start off with, let's start with the ultimate iron that they've got, the Blade, the P7MB. I mean, this iron looks fantastic. I mean, just have a little look at this iron that we've got down here. It is super tiny, super sleek. It looks fantastic. I like the look of the iron themselves. We're going to give them a hit in a second to see how they perform, but that is their Blade style iron and the iron that's designed for that really low handicap golfer, but they look fantastic. I really like the look of those. If we have a look at the next iron that they're going to be releasing, they are releasing the P7MC iron, and this iron is really nice. I like the look of this iron because it's not too thin like the Blade. I'm not worrying about having to really strike that ball perfectly. It's going to provide me with that little bit of forgiveness. So this iron here, it's got a really cool design on the back of the head that you can see down here. And again, it's meant to be really good in terms of being able to strike it. We're going to put it to the test though today and see how they feel off the club face. But looks wise, it does look fantastic. And the third and final iron set that they're going to be releasing are going to be the P770 tungsten ones. So these are a little bit bigger. They're designed to give ourselves maximum distance and get that ball down the fairway. And again, they still look nice and small. So usually you look at these types of clubs and they look really chunky and they don't look great. However, this is a performance improving club that still looks fantastic. So Taylormade are also going to be releasing 2 driving irons in September. We have the UDI and the DHY. These 2 driving irons are both designed to give ourselves nice high launch down the fairway alongside providing ourselves with maximum distance. You will notice that the difference between the 2 will be the width of sole. The DHY is slightly wider, and this is just going to help us give ourselves more launch to get ourselves down that fairway. So Taylormade are also going to be releasing the Tiger Woods Mill Grind 2 wedge that comes out in September. This wedge is going to retail at £150 and it is a fantastic wedge. It's the exact wedge that Tiger Woods uses on tour, and the reason behind this is because he likes to change the address position of the wedge, which actually alters the grind of the golf club. So the big things for us to think about is the grooves are slightly different, they are really sharp, and it's going to provide us with the maximum spin. Right, then we're going to jump on the GC quadrant and just try out a few of the clubs. So to start off with, I'm going to start with a P7MB iron. So the bladed iron, the hardest one to hit out of the bunch. So I'm going to give it a little go, just hit a few shots. You should be able to see the balls on the screen on the right hand side. And just talk through what the carry distance is like, what it looks like at the address position, how it feels off the club face. So let's hit a few shots and just see how they perform. So I mean, that was like a frozen rope. It's not gone as far as my Ping Eye 500s. Again, these are blades, whereas my Ping Eye 500 are power spec and they do go a lot longer. However, I like the feel of control element on this. Didn't carry very far, but if it carries the same distance every time, it doesn't matter to me how far the ball actually travels, as long as I can get it repeatable. So off the face, in terms of the feel, it felt amazing. That came smack bang out the centre as well, so it felt really good off the club face. Right, let's hit another one. So for me there, that was slightly off the bottom of the face. What's it done in terms of the distance? It's carried around that 155 mark. Get nice and straight again though, that's the main thing. It's finished pretty much bang on the line. Carried 153, that one did. So again, pretty consistent. Wasn't the best of strikes on that last one. Okay, let's go again. So I mean, that felt fantastic. 164 carry. It's gone fractionally left of the line. If anybody that's watched previous videos, my bad shot is a little bit left. I usually get a little pull. That's probably my bad shot, but that felt fantastic off the face. Again, the feel of these golf clubs, it's amazing. Compared to my i500s, they feel fantastic. And again, I mean, that just feels sensational. Carry on that one again, about that 167. What were we? Let's have a little look. 165 carry, so very consistent in terms of the carry. All those ones that turned over a touch further left, they have gone a fraction further, but in terms of those turning over a fraction left, they're all dead straight pretty much. I'll be happy with all of these out on the golf course. Right, and again, let's hit another one. Flight on that is amazing. 166 carry. Again, that one's turned over a touch further left, but in terms of the strike off the face, they feel sensational. I really like that iron, and to be fair, I thought I'd have more trouble hitting these than I actually do, so definite positive. I like these a lot. Again, didn't feel the greatest that one. I caught that one slightly out the heel, and the distance has gone 155, so not as long as my other irons. However, in terms of control element, they've gone pretty well. Don't need to hit tons and tons of shots with them. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an overview of how the product actually performs. So very happy with the blades there. The P7MBs, I'd give probably a good 8 out of 10 on those. I really like them. They feel fantastic off the club face. In terms of the distance element, it's not gone the longest. However, at the same time, it was consistent in terms of the carry distances that I managed to hit. So let's swap it up now. Let's go again in the middle of the range. Let's go for the brand new P7MC iron. I mean, if I was thinking about getting an iron, this is probably up there. I like the fact that it's in betweeny. It's not as small at the address position as the blade was. You've got that little bit more room for forgiveness. So again, we're going to hit around sort of 6 shots with these and just see how they perform, but they look great. Let's have another shot. In terms of setup wise, they do look like I've got a little bit more room at the address, so nice flight, nice and straight. It's got even shorter. I got at 150. Oh, that's why I'm hitting an 8 iron. So this one I have got an 8 iron, so he's going to go a touch shorter. However, usually there's around sort of 10 yards between each club, but struck it great, to be fair. It felt really nice off the face. I wondered why it had gone a little bit shorter and higher, but no, it feels amazing. Pulled that one over to the left. 153 carry. I mean, that's carrying the same distance, so I was just hitting the 7 iron in the blade. So this does provide you with a little bit more forgiveness. That was a strike, I tell you that. That's gone 149 carry, but it is on the line. I like that one. So again, a little bit of a foot slip there. Great strike again on it, and he's carried about the 153 mark with that 8 iron. In terms of the feel off the face, I would definitely say that the P7MB iron feels a lot better off the face than the P7MC. So because it's that little bit smaller, which you can see there as well, it has got that better feel off the club face. This one obviously is going to travel a touch further. There's a little bit more forgiving, but for me, I really like the feel off the face with the MB. It just feels fantastic. So, I mean, both clubs there feel great. I really like the look of this. You can start to see already there has been a few little chips away at the iron because they've been hit a few times, but that is going to be expected with such a soft iron like this. You're going to find that happens a lot, but again, it feels amazing and it looks great as well. So let's pull out their next iron, which is the P770. I mean, it's got that little speed pocket there, so let's just see how it actually performed. In terms of the setup to the golf ball, it looks great to look down on. It doesn't look chunky at all in the slightest. For me, looking down over this iron, it looks very similar to the last iron that I've just hit. So I wouldn't say just because the P770 is slightly bigger, it looks any different at the address position, which is nice to look down over the ball and the club and think, you know what, this looks great to hit. So let's give it a go and see how this one performs. So I mean, that felt nice. Carried 176. Felt good, that one did. Wasn't the cleanest of strikes, so again, I'm hoping when I catch one smack bang out of centre that we get that really nice crisp feel like I did with the MBs. I mean, they were absolutely fantastic. The feel of that club, the P7MB, unbelievable. It just feels so nice. I don't think I can justify getting them yet though, so let's have a shot with this one. Again, felt really nice, carried 178, nice and consistent as well, because I want to know when I'm playing those shots that the shot I'm about to hit is going to carry around the same distance every single time. So that was really, really nice. I like that. I like that both times we carried the same distance. Right, let's have another shot. So that felt great. 182 carry. Caught that one a little bit closer to centre. It's gone a little bit of a higher flight and it's carried 182. So it's gone that little touch further, but that was because I absolutely centred it. I couldn't have hit that one much better at all. It felt amazing. So let's just hit one last shot with this iron. And again, creamed it. 175 that time, so nice and straight next to the line. It's finished a total of 189 yards. No brainer. I mean, these clubs feel great, nice and easy to hit as well. No, even if you didn't catch them great, the ball still flew a good distance. So very happy with those clubs. Really, really nice. Obviously, Taylormade are keeping their P790 Ti irons as current. So I mean, these irons look fantastic. I'm not going to hit too many of these today. They retail at £2,450 for 7 irons. So that's £350 per iron. So a fair whack of cash on those. So I'm not actually going to be hitting these ones today. I will do a separate video on the P790 Ti irons. So make sure to check that link in the description below for that video. But yeah, I'll do a separate video on those. I won't be hitting them ones today. So I'm also going to hit today the Taylormade Tiger Woods wedge. Alright, so I managed to get my hands on the Taylormade Tiger Woods wedge. This is the 56 degree, and it's also got these grooves that are really designed to spin that ball a lot. So let's just hit a few shots with the wedge and see how it feels and what it spins like. So does it spin high, does it spin low? We want ideally a fair bit of spin to stop that ball. So let's have a look. I'll tell you what, 9,000 spin. Strike, as you can probably just about see here, was slightly off the heel. However, felt amazing off the face again. Really good, really nice spinny shot. It's going to sit down when it actually hit them greens. So, like that. 10,000 spin. I'll tell you what, the ball's been struck in exactly the same spot. So it's still going really nice. He's just left the centre. In terms of that ball is literally hitting wherever it stops, sitting down dead. There's like 2 yards of run out on the GC quad, which is rare to see. I like that a lot actually. Feels really, really good. It's nice. Again, let's have one more. Again, 10,000 backspin. So I know it's landed, what's that, 90, finishing 94. I mean, you can't really get the ball to sit down much quicker than something like this. 56 degree, it's stopping on a dime. To be fair, my wedges probably could do with replacing. The grooves on them are slightly going, they don't sit down anywhere near as quick as that iron, as that wedge just did. I mean, that is fantastic. So in terms of the Taylormade irons and what they have to offer and how they perform, all 3 of the irons that I've hit have felt fantastic, and the wedge is amazing. For me, I'm definitely going to be putting the wedge in my bag with how quick that's just sat down. So pulling out the bag now, I have the new Taylormade Sim DHY and the UOI, and these two crossover hybrid sort of style irons are really designed to get my ball right the way down the fairway. I've got the UOI in the 2 iron and the DHY in the 3. However, I wanted to see how it performs. What does the flight come off like? What does the distance give us? We've got the DHY, which is more of a forgiving one. It's slightly wider soled than the UOI. So we're going to give it a hit and just see how they both perform. So let's start off with the DHY. So that little bit more chunky one that's a 3 iron. Let's see what happens in terms of the distance. What does it look like at dress? Definitely you can see on this one that there is that back to the golf club. So it does look very thick in comparison to the other one. So let's hit this and see how it performs. So real thud to that shot. You can really feel that ball coming off that face. Again, that's gone a total of 245 yards. It's gone a little bit left for me. Again, for me, I do tend to have all my irons flat, so these all feel a little bit strange, all going off to the left-hand side. But in terms of the thud off the face, it did feel very, very good. Let's have another couple. Again, that one comes slightly heely. It's really low spinning. So again, that's only spun like 1,800. That's less than what my driver would spin. So that's obviously why it's come out of the air pretty quick, but ran a real good distance. Let's go again. So I've struck that one so well. 220 carry with a little 3 crossover club that's gone a total of 238 yards. So, I mean, that's quite a long way with a little 3. But let's give it a go now with the 2. So the UOI in the 2 is very, very small looking. There's a lot less room for forgiveness than with that 3. But in terms of the look at the setup, it looks a lot smaller. It doesn't look as chunky as the previous one. So let's see how this one performs. So I mean, couldn't have hit that much better. 2, how far is that going? I mean, that is crazy. In terms of trying to hit a fairway, that's gone 246 times the total distance. I mean, you wouldn't even need to pull out a driver with something like this. 246 yards down the fairway with a little 2 crossover iron. I mean, that is unreal. Love how far that's gone down there. It stayed nice and straight as well. Right, let's have a few more. And again, nice little draw down there. It's got a little short, didn't catch it as clean. So that one's gone total of 230, 236, still stayed nice and straight. What you've got to remember when I'm hitting these shots is I'm more than likely going to be pulling this out the bag to hit the fairway, and it's going to be off the tee. So it's going to get me down there. It doesn't have to be smack bang on the line. If it moves a little left or moves a little right, it's a no-brainer. Right, let's have one last one of these. I actually prefer the look of this one at the address than the other one. So looks pretty good. Right, let's have one last one. Didn't strike it as great. 217 carry. So in comparison between the 2 driving irons, I would probably pick the UOI over the DHY, and the reason behind that is just because at the setup of the golf ball, I don't like seeing chunky looking irons behind the actual setup of the ball. It just doesn't look visually great to me. I don't like that look behind the ball. It doesn't inspire me with lots of confidence. So I would definitely say the UOI looks fantastic in terms of the setup behind the ball. In terms of hitting fairways with a little two driving iron, I'm going to hit the majority of fairways, and I'm going to get myself down there about that 245, 230 to 245 mark every single time. For me, if you can get your ball down there 240 and you're going to hit the fairway, you are guaranteeing yourself a decent chance at trying to make that par. So definitely a very, very good club that Taylormade have released. If I was going to choose an iron, I would pick, it's a hard choice, but for me, I love the feel of the MBs. For me, if I'm going to get a club, I would probably go with a P7MB iron. Although the ball hasn't gone anywhere near as far as some of the other irons, I know for a fact I'm going to get a repeatable shot every single time I come to hit these shots. So even the ones I didn't catch great still travelled a good distance. However, I would recommend before you go away and start purchasing any Taylormade irons to definitely get yourself a fitting. And the reason behind that, you want to make sure that the irons are set up for you. So for example here, these are all standard. However, I know for a fact I'm about 3 degrees flat, just to try and stop that ball moving any further left, and I just like my irons a lot flatter. But on the whole, very impressed with these irons. Get yourself fit before you start purchasing, Right guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Hopefully you got loads of information in terms of what the new irons actually look like, what they feel like off the face, alongside providing you with a little bit of information as to what Taylormade are actually going to be keeping in 2020 and what the irons are going to be current in 2021. So if you've enjoyed watching the video guys, please hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel and comment on any of my videos to automatically be entered into a free prize draw to win a brand new Spider S or Spider X putter. So thanks for watching guys, make sure to stay tuned and I'll see you all again soon.